My friend, there exists within every human soul a magnificent force that most people never fully recognize or harness. It is the force of advancement, the impulse to grow, to become more, to express life more fully. This is not merely a desire for personal gain, but a fundamental law of existence itself. You see, the very substance from which all things are made is alive with the desire for increase. It seeks constantly to express itself more fully, to manifest greater life, greater beauty, greater abundance. And because you are made from this same thinking substance, this same desire for increase lives within you. But here is what most people fail to understand. This force of advancement is not something you must struggle to create. It already exists within you. Your task is not to manufacture it, but to align yourself with it and allow it to flow through you in a way that transforms not only your own life, but the lives of everyone you encounter. When you become what I call an advancing person, something remarkable happens. You begin to radiate a quality that others can feel, even when no words are spoken. People sense that in your presence, they too can grow. They too can become more than they currently are. This is not manipulation or technique. This is the natural result of living in harmony with the fundamental principle of life itself. Think for a moment about the people who have most influenced your life. Were they not individuals who somehow made you feel larger, more capable, more alive? They possessed this quality of advancement. They were not merely successful in the ordinary sense, though success often followed them. They were people who had learned to embody growth itself. Now, how does one become such a person? First, you must understand that advancement begins in the mind. Your thoughts are creative forces, and the quality of your thinking determines the quality of your life experience. If you think thoughts of limitation, of scarcity, of competition with others, you align yourself with forces that contract and diminish. But if you think thoughts of expansion, of abundance, of creative cooperation, you align yourself with the very power that builds worlds. The advancing person has learned to think in terms of increase rather than decrease. When faced with any situation, they ask not, "What can I get from this?" but rather, "How can I contribute to this? How can I add value? How can I help this situation become more than it currently is?" This is a profound shift in perspective. Most people approach life with what I call the competitive mind. They believe that for them to have more, someone else must have less. They see life as a game with limited resources where they must fight for their share. But the advancing person has discovered something far more powerful. They have learned to think with the creative mind. The creative mind recognizes that the universe is not a closed system with limited resources. It is an open system, constantly expanding, constantly creating new possibilities. When you think with the creative mind, you realize that your gain does not require another's loss. In fact, your advancement creates more opportunity for everyone around you. Let me give you a practical example. Suppose you are employed in work that does not fully satisfy you. The competitive mind would focus on getting ahead by making others look bad, by hoarding information, by playing political games. But the advancing person takes a different approach entirely. The advancing person does their current work with such excellence, with such a spirit of increase, that they become more valuable where they are. They give more in use value than they receive in salary. They approach each task not with the minimum effort required, but with the full power of their creative energy. They look for ways to improve processes, to solve problems, to make their workplace more efficient and harmonious. But here is the key. They do this not primarily to curry favor with their employer, but because they understand a fundamental law. When you give more than you receive, when you contribute increase to every situation you enter, you create a momentum of growth that must eventually manifest as expanded opportunity in your own life. The universe cannot help but respond to such a person. It is not a matter of deserving or morality, though these have their place. It is a matter of natural law. Just as water flows downhill and plants grow toward the light, opportunities flow toward those who embody the principle of increase. Now you might wonder, how does one cultivate this advancing quality? It begins with a fundamental shift in how you see yourself and your purpose. Instead of seeing yourself as someone trying to get something from life, you begin to see yourself as a creative center through which life expresses more of itself. Every morning before you engage with the world, spend time contemplating your vision of what you wish to become. See yourself not as you currently are, but as the advancing person you are becoming. Feel the reality of this expanded version of yourself. Let gratitude fill your heart for the privilege of participating in this great work of advancement. Throughout your day, hold this vision while you work. Whether you are speaking with a customer, completing a task, or simply walking down the street, remember that you are a creative center. You are someone through whom increase flows into the world. Let this understanding inform every interaction, every decision, every moment. When you speak with others, let them feel this quality of advancement in your presence, not through boastful words or artificial enthusiasm, but through the genuine conviction that life is good, that growth is possible, that better things are always coming into being. People are naturally drawn to such individuals because they awaken the same potential within themselves. Do not concern yourself with competition. The advancing person has no competitors because they are not trying to take anything away from anyone. They are creating new value, opening new possibilities, contributing to the expansion of life itself. In such work, there can be no competition, only collaboration with the creative forces of the universe. Guard your thoughts carefully. Never allow yourself to think or speak in terms of limitation, scarcity, or decrease. When you catch yourself slipping into old patterns of competitive thinking, correct yourself immediately. Remember that your thoughts are creative forces, and you want to align them always with increase, always with advancement. Be patient with the process. The transformation from competitive to creative thinking does not happen overnight, but every moment you spend thinking thoughts of increase, every action you take in the spirit of advancement, builds momentum toward the life you desire. Most importantly, understand that this is not merely a strategy for personal success. It is a way of participating consciously in the great work of evolution itself. The universe is always seeking to express more life, more beauty, more harmony. When you become an advancing person, you become a conscious co-creator in this magnificent process. The rewards of such living extend far beyond material success. Though material good will surely come to you, you will experience the deep satisfaction of knowing that your life matters, that through you the world becomes a little better, a little more than it was before. You will attract to yourself people and opportunities that match your advancing nature. You will find doors opening that you never knew existed. You will discover capabilities within yourself that surprise and delight you. But perhaps most importantly, you will experience the joy of living in harmony with the fundamental principle of existence itself. You will feel the life force flowing through you, expressing itself as your thoughts, your words, your actions. You will know yourself as a creative being, capable of contributing to the ongoing creation of a better world. This is your birthright, my friend. This is not reserved for a special few, but available to anyone willing to align themselves with the law of increase. Begin today. Begin now. Let yourself become the advancing person you were always meant to be.